If I were making a list of all the things that President Tinubu has done wrong, the greatest wrong he's done to himself, the thing that has demarketed him the most, has been on Minister Wike, because FCT is a mini Nigeria. Even people who vote in other places, they live here or they come and go. And when you watch the impunity, it doesn't speak, it doesn't sell this government. Minister Wike, he doesn't obey the rule of law. He's autocratic. He doesn't follow any rules or any laws. And when you try to draw his attention that governance is based on laws, the rule of law, he doesn't accept that. The FCDA, when it was created, got rid of FCT, which was a ministry, PAMSEX and all. Minister Wike has brought them all back without the enabling laws. I mean, if he wants these things, he should ask the National Assembly to create the enabling laws, but he doesn't, because he's just autocratic. He feels, I can do anything. Abuja University had approximately 11,000 hectares. Minister Wike has revoked 7,000 of it and left them with 4. It is definitely against the Land Use Act for you to take land from institutions to give them to individuals. The average person does not have access to him. But usually when the minister does something and they're offended, they bring it to me. In Abuja, streets are being cleaned by indigent women. Even when some ministers come and want to bring mechanical street sweepers, we say no, this is a source of livelihood for our indigent women, widows and other underprivileged women. And they let it be. Now, this particular minister has come, and I can go way back. Most ministers have left them. He comes, he's fired them all, regardless of what anybody has said. Then he doesn't replace them with mechanical street sweepers. So Abuja is looking dirty. People will grumble, but it is not my job to grumble. It is my job to oversight him and say, this is not right. You cannot do this. People are not paid. I've tabled that as a public complaint. There are these people called Abuja small indigenous contractors. They're not, and they do contracts of all under 5 million each person. So there's not a lot of money. He came, maybe about 400 or 500 of them that had not been paid. They didn't think it was a problem because government is a continuum. He says, no, he's not paying them. He didn't give them the job, and that's that. And he didn't. 2 years on, they haven't been paid. And that's how he's been governing us. And the pity of it is that he doesn't have executive powers. He derives his powers from the president. He doesn't have any executive power. In Buhari, there's a land allocated for a government general hospital. Mr. Wike revokes it, and he's having some sort of a market or mall or something put on it. Now, how do you think a people will feel who expect that at the very least, maybe you'll try and build that general hospital, not take it and give it to your crony? And all these things are documented. They are not done in a hidden manner. It's all open and you can do your worst. Wike has been harassing all of FCT over ground rent. In fact, he's not giving any time. If you don't pay your 2K that you owe, we will revoke your whole house for 80K or 2K or whatever the ground rent is. It varies from people to people, including embassies. Now, I have documents, and since Minister Wike is so popular, how come it's so easy to get secret documents of everything that's going on within the FCDA? I have documents to show that when Minister Wike allocated land to his sons, huge tracts of land, fine, as he says, though they are his sons, they're entitled to land, no problem. But the bills, I have them documented, of 200 million that you need to pay, 100 million here that you need to pay. They wrote to him asking that the bill, he should give a waiver and reduce it. Within 48 hours, they are going from 200 million to 22 million.
And that's illegal, isn't it?
Of course it's illegal.
Right.
At the very least, it's unfair, it's unethical. At the very least. I am a civil engineer, I'm a fact person. I wouldn't come here I wouldn't say so publicly without having the facts and the documents. So he should be aware that most things he does, I will know.
So what are you going to do with those documents?
Oh, I'm going to take those documents and go to the body, the equivalent of his state assembly, and insist that that assembly, the president from whom Wike derives his powers, goes back to the National Assembly for approval for everything. And Wike, who is deriving powers from him, does not go to the National Assembly for anything except budget. TSA, all his IGR, what has he done with it? He's never accounted for anything. How are the money spent? Nothing. So it is now time for more serious oversight of the minister. Some people were saying, oh, don't shout, don't complain. That's what I was elected for. If I cannot speak, then I might as well just resign my seat. Secondly, yes, the other day I was coming back I went for oversight to Sokoto, and on the way back, a black Jeep was following me almost all the way home. I told my driver when he pointed it out to me. Yes, I said, what's the problem? Because it was a night. He said, a black car has been following us. I said, from when? He said, since we left the airport. I said, okay, don't go home. Just go to a busier Ghana street. And after a while, I told him park, and then the Jeep passed. But the truth is, I'm a senator of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I have rights.
Indeed.
And I do not think that even with Wike's impunity, that he would try to harm me for saying you cannot do A, B, C, D. I'm not afraid. It's God who protects. I have security more than the average person, and normal people go around and they get home safely. The UBEB Act of 2003 has free, compulsory, universal basic education for FCT. But the children is it implemented? Is there funding for it? No. These things are not optional. They are statutory. So if Wike, and that's why I'm amused that Wike decided he's picking his own senator, different from the one that was elected. At least the least the senator can do is tell him that you must do A, B, C, D. It is not a question of choice.
But I mean, there was a person on the street poll that was taken recently, I don't know if you're aware of it, in the FCT. And many ordinary people said they would vote for Wike if he ran for president based simply on the things that he's done in Abuja. And they said they don't really care if some contracts have been inflated or not. What matters to them is what they can see on the ground. How much is that reality likely to send a message to Mr. Wike to continue with his influence on things? Because, I mean, let's face it, politics is about symbolism, and it's about people's gut feelings and people's sense of who is bringing in the dividends.
Well, let's put it this way. If truly Minister Wike is as popular as, I mean, you're talking about that poll, depending on who conducted the poll and how it was conducted. I'm not knocking it, but I am saying, Charles, local government elections are coming in a few months. It's usually from local government, especially ministers in the past. They know how the people feel about them. When we come to any kind of election, can he tell the people, go and do this, and they do it? If he can't, then it means that all that any minister has been doing is blustering and carrying on and just making noise.
And he did suggest that those elections were already in the bag, didn't
Yes, he did. And we are waiting to see how he's going to achieve that.
We must force free and fair elections on INEC and Tinubu in 2027. We must force it. If we don't force it, then forget it. No need for any elections. The only option, and it's clear that Tinubu wants to continue beyond 2027 as president of Nigeria. He wants to. And he knows it, that in a free and fair election, he doesn't stand a chance. So the signs are there. He's not interested in a free and fair election. So if any candidate, Peter Obi, whether acting as an individual candidate or in a coalition, if he's to have a chance to be sworn in, if he's to prevent being rigged out again, then we must force free and fair elections on INEC. Electoral reforms alone will not do it. There are 4 solutions that we can use to force INEC to conduct free and fair elections. 4 solutions. I'll leave links to the 4 solutions in the description. These 4 solutions, if we implement them even 50%, then rigging in election in Nigeria will be a thing of the past, gone and forgotten. Not even a 5-in-1 Tinubu will be able to rig 2027. Yes, 5-in-1 Tinubu. And I'm talking about Tinubu being the presidential candidate of the APC, Tinubu being the INEC chairman himself, Tinubu being the head of thugs and agberos, Tinubu being the head of the judiciary, and Tinubu being the head of the security agencies. These are the 5 elements that you need to successfully carry out rigging in Nigeria. Now, if we put these 4 solutions into play, a 5-in-1 Tinubu cannot rig elections, because these solutions, they guarantee 100% election transparency. And that is the foundation for free and fair elections. Let's not get distracted. Tinubu knows he can't win a free and fair election. He knows. It doesn't look like he's planning to have free and fair elections. Just take a look at what he's doing with INEC. Take a look at what he's doing with the governors. Take a look at what he's doing in Nigeria. He knows his only option, if he wants to remain in power beyond 2027, now to rig. Now there is the issue of, coalition. I am happy that the coalition is taking shape. Finally, Peter Obi has come out to announce that he is for the coalition. In fact, he has even openly declared his willingness to do only 1 term so that power can return back to the North after 2031. He has declared that willingness. And he has also declared willingness to work with El-Rufai. And I believe that will be a game changer. That improves his chances a lot. But, and there is a big but, all of these coalition talks will only yield fruits if there is free and fair election in Nigeria. This is 2025. And we're talking about Tinubu, not 2015, and certainly not a Goodluck Jonathan. Goodluck Jonathan was free, gave INEC a free hand, and whatever happened in 2015 happened. In 2025, as we build up to 2027, do you really and honestly think that a Tinubu will give INEC free hand to conduct free and fair elections? Does it look like it? We already have an INEC that is under the thumb, the control of the APC and Tinubu, an INEC that is now becoming clearly partisan. Do you think that even if we had electoral amendment, that this INEC or the INEC under the next appointee of a Tinubu will give us free and fair elections? Give us? No. Can we take it? Yes. We must force free and fair elections on INEC and on Tinubu in 2027. And there are 4 solutions to do just that. But we can only do it if we do it together. If you want to build your solution, we will support you. But make sure that it is along these 4 lines. We are de-weaponizing poverty. We are de-weaponizing impunity. We are de-weaponizing political parties. They have been weaponized. And we are de-weaponizing voter apathy. So along these 4 lines, we must act to make sure the 2027 election is free and fair. So what are the solutions? First and foremost, electoral reforms. Yes. But after we get electoral reforms, is that the end? The answer is no. We must take it a step further. In fact, 3 steps further. We must add parallel, electronic, real-time polling unit results transmission, collation and display. Real-time. Parallel to whatever we can get INEC to do. Parallel. We have the application. It's Election Watch. But we need the people, polling unit marshals. How many polling units do we have in Nigeria? 189,000. Round that off to 200,000. Multiply it by 3. So we have at least 3 polling unit agents per polling unit. And each of these polling unit marshals will enter the results from the polling units. And immediately, election closes on election day. Immediately. I'm not talking about 1 hour later. No. Immediately, election closes. Results are counted from the polling unit. We have the result for the whole Nigerians to see on our web portal. We have it. But we must work together to achieve this. We need you to volunteer to become a polling unit agent. This is not a partisan solution. It is not. This is not, oh, I am APC, I am PDP, I am ADC. No. This is a solution for all Nigerians. This is not a, oh, I am obedient, oh, I am Showore, I am, no. Any serious candidate, any serious Nigerian that is contesting against the APC in 2027, any serious Nigerian that wants a new Nigeria that works for everybody, must, as a matter of necessity, support this solution and volunteer as a polling unit marshal. The application is already developed. We're testing it. We need you to volunteer so that we can put these measures in place. Like I said, if we have these 4 solutions in place, Election Watch being just one of them, it won't matter that Tinubu is 5-in-1. He will lose. And if we don't have these solutions in place, it won't matter that Peter Obi, El-Rufai, Amechi form the biggest coalition. It won't matter because they will be rigged out. And then they will tell you, go to court. I don't want to cry after the election of February 2027, saying they rigged us out. No. We can prevent the rigging. I want to be the one with the solutions, with the evidence. And that brings us to the second solution. Calm guard. To capture admissible evidence that we can use to defend our victory in court. Admissible evidence that the judiciary cannot hide from. That INEC cannot hide from. These are solutions that we can do, but as individuals, it is impossible. But if we work together, easily achievable, but difficult. Now, we must now come together to make sure we achieve it. Tinubu knows that his only option to continue beyond 2027 is to rig. And he's not hiding it. So if anybody is serious about a Nigeria that works, coalition is not the answer. I say it. If we have free and fair election in Nigeria today, if it is guaranteed, Peter Obi does not need a coalition. He doesn't. He will win. Tinubu will lose. I've said it. If free and fair election is guaranteed in Nigeria and you bring a goat, you wear agbada on the coat to contest against Tinubu, he will lose. And that's why Tinubu is not planning to give you free and fair elections. The signs are there. But we can resist it and defeat whatever rigging arrangement they put in place. They are planning for rigging on election day, but do you know what? They are taking it beyond that. They are planning for rigging leading to election day. Do you know that there is a type of rigging that takes place before election day even comes? That is where you have weaponized poverty, weaponized impunity, weaponized political party. These are tools to rig election before the election even starts. And the whole aim of these weaponized political parties, weaponized impunity, weaponized poverty, the whole aim is voter apathy. Such that the only few viewers that come out, voters that come out to vote, they are buyable. So they are using these tools to prime Nigerians for voter apathy and for vote selling and vote buying. So we cannot just focus on only election day and say we have done the job. No, we've done the job for election day. Camp Guard and Election Watch, they take care of rigging on election day. But you see, Well Fund, Law Patrol, and Abundance Party, they take care of rigging leading up to the election day. And we must take both of them together to completely eradicate rigging in 2027. Well Fund is a tool to de-weaponize poverty in Nigeria. It is a scheme that helps Nigerians to fish, not simply give them fish. You've heard it. Give a person a fish, you feed him for the moment. The next moment he's hungry, there's nothing you can do because you don't have infinite resources. But teach him to fish, you have fed him for life. Now, if you take it further and you help him to fish, you have fed a whole country. That is exactly what Well Fund seeks to do. Financial support for feeding in exchange for participation in agricultural food production. Well Fund will not only empower Nigerians, put food on their table, it will reduce the cost of food and increase our hard currency earning from food because food will be surplus within a very short time with Well Fund. And when you have a people that are empowered, they won't sell their vote for 500 naira or 1,000 because they know from Well Fund they get way more than that. So Well Fund will help to de-weaponize poverty. Weaponized impunity will be handled by Law Patrol. Law Patrol would take care of weaponized impunity, leading up to the 2027 election. And then Abundance Party is the tool to de-weaponize political parties. Right now, political parties have been weaponized. Even if you look at the so-called coalition right now, it is the same recycled old politicians that are forming this coalition. Yes, I will be okay with it if somebody like a Peter Obi can emerge as the presidential candidate, but it only takes care of the presidency. What about those at the National Assembly, those in the state, those in the local government? The political parties as they currently exist in Nigeria have been weaponized against credible candidates. No credible candidate with integrity and capacity and character will participate in politics as it is practiced by political parties in Nigeria today. No credible candidate will do it. Only those who, and there are very few, in fact, very rare, like Peter Obi, very rare. How many of you Nigerians can take 100 million naira to go and buy form to become president of Nigeria? Well, now why even see the 100 million? How many Nigerians have 100 million naira today? And it's not only 100 million naira. 100 million is just for form. There's expression of interest too. Then you now talk about money to buy delegates. After money to buy delegates, you will have to settle some bills for the political parties. They go knock you bill. And after that, you have to now start thinking about how you are going to spend money on some people at INEC, spend money on some people in the security agency, spend money on some people to buy votes and all that. Before you know it, to become president, you are looking at 20 billion naira. Number one, how many Nigerians can afford that? And in any case, why would you think that somebody will spend 20 billion naira to become president and then the person will come and care about you? When his official legitimate salary is not up to even 100 million or 1 billion. He must steal. So the political parties as they currently exist have been weaponized against Nigerians. So we must de-weaponize political party, and a tool to do that is the Abundance Party of Nigeria. These are the tools. But the one that is very critical right now is the election day solution to stop rigging. And that's Election Watch, which needs you to volunteer to become a polling unit marshal. It's at no risk to you. I know many of you are afraid. Yes, you don't want a situation whereby you talk and then they come and remove the food from your table. I can understand that. But this does not put you at risk. You are not at risk of being shot. You are not at risk of losing your source of livelihood. No risk to you. But at the end of the day, you stand to benefit from a Nigeria that works, where you will be able to earn much more than you are earning today. So no risk. There is 100% anonymity when you volunteer as a polling unit marshal. 100% safe. But the impact of your action will be felt years to come, because it will birth a new Nigeria that works for all of us. Join us to accomplish this task. The links are in the description. We are testing it right now.